right, Indiana Jones, England's first scenic designer. All right, born in Smithfield, England on July 15, 1573, he was an artist and designer who worked in a multitude of media, including painting, architecture, scenic, and costume design. He's most widely renowned for the founding of the English classical tradition of architecture. This is building in the background of the slide. This is a famous example. It's the Banqueting House, built in 1622. He was a catalyst for the English tradition of scenic design. At a young age, he was apprenticed to be a carpenter. In 1603, as Shiva mentioned, he went to be visited in Italy, where he learned how to paint and the principles of perspective and design. Upon his return to England, he received the patronage of James I and the Queen Anne. He spent the rest of his life employed by the royal court. It was upon their commission that he was employed as an architect and designs for the various masks that were thrown by the court. All right, so though it has a long history starting the Tudor period, the mask came to flourish in the royal courts of James I and Charles I. Developed solely for the court, a mask was a type of theatrical entertainment that combined the arts of poetry, music, dance, and visual design. It was held only on special occasions, religious festivals, Christmas, or royal events. Originally no more than a themed party, these events slowly developed more artistic complexity. Under the hand of the writer Ben Jonson, plots were introduced into events based on classical and allegorical themes to glorify the patrons. Indiana Jones is credited with evolving the visual elements of masks and used the medium to communicate to his audience a wholly new concept of visual art. The close partnership that these events required between Johnson and Jones also resulted in intense conflict. After 25 years in which they were the masters of English entertainment, their partnership would dissolve. What I find very interesting is that Jones, the visual designer, was left in control of the productions as a testament to the fact that designers were considered more important than the writing.
Money.
First commissioned to do visual designs for a mask, Jones presented a set that would be the foundation for the rest of the English scenic design tradition. He combined the traditions with the method of constructing a stage mansion, which is what Maya was talking about, with the Italian developments of foreshortening perspective. This was painted into a new developed wing and shutter system. Once he was happy with the spatial procession, he turned his attention to the mechanics of upper parts of the set, where the sky would be opened up to the heavens, clouds would be brought in, descending deities would be incorporated. What's interesting about his specific designs, he didn't do true mechanical perspective. He had two different horizon lines, with the wings in the background being separate. So what that means is, in a true perspective for a stage, you have your perspective lines going to a single vanishing point. What he would do is he'd have one vanishing point for the wings, but a different one for the background. So as evidenced in one of his scenic designs, right, you have the wings that go in. This is the world of the actors with the area of the backdrop. Vanishing points up here. The actors stand apart, and you can have a further distinction between the world of the actors and the world of...
Yeah!